Vicky here with you, and I thought it'd be time to do a little tour of all the notebook and planners and all that sort of good stuff that I use, not necessarily on a daily basis, but often, let's just say. There's some here, it's a huge pile, and I know it's a huge pile, and some are gonna say, whoa, that's way too many. But they all suit a different purpose, and that's what I want to get into with you guys and just share with you what I use them for. So let's just remove some from the pile so I can kind of see the desk and go through it. So I'm wondering if I should go into, well, I'll just present them to you. So this one is a little pocket size traveler's notebook, and in this I write all the vintage items that I have that are in my store. I try to put all the dimensions and everything, I put them in here, and this keeps track of all my stuff that's in Etsy. So this is this little notebook. It's almost, the first insert is almost finished, so I'm gonna have to put another one. So I need to put another elastic. I already purchased another one of these. I don't have a lot of pocket size notebook like this. I think this is the only traveler's notebook pocket size I have. I have something else similar size in my purse, and I didn't pull it out because, well, let's be honest, these days I don't go anywhere basically, so I don't bring my purse a lot, which is why I didn't think about pulling it out. But I have another one similar, but it's not, it's one of those Chic Sparrow, I think, little notebook that I had purchased, and I keep it just so that I have something to write notes in if I want. So that's this little guy. So this little guy, I refer to it often, like it's on my couch, and you've seen that in my couch review. Now this big beast is my hobonichi, and if you're part of my Patreon, you've seen me make some of the weekly spreads. So I have shared some of that stuff with my Patreons. This is not something, this is very personal. Those spreads, some of it is on Instagram, but some of it is personals. Therefore, I don't necessarily feel good about sharing it publicly on YouTube, where the audience is much bigger. The back portion of it, I used to take notes. So all my seeds that I have written on here, and I know exactly where they are, so that I can refer to them, and I can actually purchase more if I need. This one is because this one is empty, so I need to purchase another one of those. At the front is the information on the monthly side of it. I keep track of all my YouTube analytics and stuff, so I use these months for that. So it's pretty big, but and it's getting bulkier because of the fact that I'm actually using my sheets, and like I'm using them to make spreads. So yeah, so this here, I refer to it every single day, which is good. The other thing that I have is, because I'm using the weeks in the hobonichi to document what's going on, I didn't have anything to write my list of to-dos. So I got this little book, which is Nolty, and it's a little agenda. It's tiny. It has like the days of the week, and then you've got an extra little sheet. So I keep track of my stuff, and when I do it, then I actually highlight whatever I've done. So like I'll keep track of the videos I need to film, if I have mail that I need to ship out, and that sort of thing. So this one I refer to also pretty much on a daily basis, at least on a weekly, if not daily. but I try to do my list, so obviously I refer to it all the time. This little one is my hobonichi 5-year, and I'm very happy to report that ever since I got it, which was in February, and I did backdate some of the entries to January, the stuff that I could remember, but yeah, I've been writing in it every single day, so I'm quite pleased with myself, and I love that I've been writing with different fountain pens, so there's like, I really like it. So all the good, the bad, the ugly, what's going on is all written, documented, which is really nice, because if I'm behind in my weekly spreads, I refer to this little guy, and it gives me an idea of what was going on in that day. Now this one here, we got, usually I don't use the B6 size. I had gotten this one from Chic Sparrow way back when. I had gotten it engraved. I love the patina and the marks and stuff, and I need to put my little R2D2 like directly on a clip so that it doesn't bang so much around, but I don't care. Like, I like the patina, I like the marks on my leather. This here is my blotter. It's not very elegant, but it does the job because I write with fountain pens. This is the Sakura and Matka little notebook that we had gotten in the Anami box. I'm almost finished. I've done 2 notebooks so far this year, so this is the 3rd. Obviously this one is smaller. Usually I go with the Electrum and the A5 size, but this little guy was much smaller and it felt like it was lost in the other one. So I'm using this here, but this usually houses my address book. So I had to put my address book somewhere else. So right now it's in this beast, but it's supposed to be in a separate little book, which is this one. So as soon as I'm finished, which is not very far from now, because I do write daily, I try to journal daily, it really does help pull out all the stuff that's going on in my mind, and just put it on paper. I really find that it makes a big difference. So I love this practice, and this is obviously something I'm going to continue, but usually it's going to be in my A5 size, which I didn't bring the A5 because right now it's empty. It's got only the stuff that should be in this one, except that the address book I needed closer, so I've grouped it in here, but usually this one should not have that. So that is something that I use every single day. And as you can see, they all have a purpose. It's all different, and I need my stuff to be structured in different buckets, and that's what these notebooks are for me. They're little buckets. So this one, it's, yeah, all my stickers and stuff that I use for pen paling and to put on my letters that I mail out and my packages, they're all on top of here, because it has 2 pockets. It has a huge pocket on the front and it has a big pocket on the back, and this is from Speckled Fawn. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this one I purchased used. So it was a used journal, but I really love it. I love the fact that it's so deep, and I'm really housing a lot of stuff in here. So I've been doing a lot of pen paling, so I'm gonna try to not, I don't want to share with you information that shouldn't be shared, but basically I write here the date that I mailed out the letter, and I usually put a little sticky note like this, so when I receive a letter back, I put a little sticky note on it, on the fact that I have received an answer from the one I sent, and then I write another letter and I document, and I try to document the ink that I've used and the fountain pen that I've used, because I like to vary it and not write with the same color all the time. And at the back of this book I have all the addresses of my pen pals. And I keep in the back some of the stationery that I'm using at the present time for letter writing. And I've got my little address book, which is a little address book that I made. This is an insert that I purchased on Etsy in a store, and I can just reprint basically. And this, like I said, this usually lives in here, which is the perfect size for it. But right now, because that other book is booked, it lives in here. But I'm anxious for it to go back to its regular place. So this here, I refer to it every single week because I answer a lot of letters. If you guys write to me, you should know that usually I will answer back. So it has happened that I don't, but most of the time I do try to answer back. So so yeah, I document all of that, and that's my way of keeping track and being semi-organized in that fashion. Then this one here is a new one. I went to a thrift store and I found this beautiful cover. It's made in Italy, and I really love it. This notebook hasn't been used yet, but it has I don't know what type of paper it is. Nakabayashi, that's the name, but it's a grid type of book, and I got it with my my ink flight that I had purchased, and I'm part of the Patreon of Bybon, and she started a graphic novel club with the tier that I'm in, and I bought the graphic novel, and now I want, when I'm going to be reading it, I want to document it. So it's only just started, which is why I haven't documented anything yet. I need to start reading it, and I'll document it, and as we go through other books, I will document it as well. So I wanted something separate because of the fact that it's for that group. So that's this little notebook, and it's going to be used, you know, it's going to be monthly, the book club, and as I read, I'll document it and then refer to it when we do the book club review or discussion. Then I was watching Chris Science recently, and she mentioned a class, and it's the Create Your Future Self project by Benjamin Hardy. And it looked really, really, really interesting, and it fits with what I want, which is to project myself as an artist, because that's where I want to go. That's what I'm drawn to. That's where I see my future, and therefore I thought it was a really, really interesting class. And so far I'm at day 3, but I'm documenting what I'm reading, and I'm doing the exercise in this little book. This little book was purchased at a Value Village. It was part of a kit with probably envelopes and other stuff, but it had never been used. There was only one word written here, and it was bébé. And so I erased that, and I've been using it for documenting that. I like that it's compact. It's a 30-day program, so I figure I'm writing a lot. As you can see, I've got already all of these pages done, and it's only day 3. So I'll go through probably most of this book through this class. So I don't want, and one thing I did is I've printed out the list of books that he recommended, because I recommended a friend so that I could get that bonus material. And so I've got the list of the books, so maybe if I still have room, I will continue the process of this type of class with these books and writing about it. The only book that I have already read is the 80-20 principle. I read that a long time ago at work. So yeah, so this little book right now is serving every single day, pretty much like my 30 inks little book was serving, and that little book is finished, so it's been replaced by something else that I'm following, and so that's that. Then this one here, this one is not something I use every single day. This is where I will write quotes, and things like, for example, the owl sentiments that I've used for my owl sheets. And if I've got new quotes sheets, because when I did my quotes, I listed them there. I've got some Zentangle quotes, so when I want to do a Zentangle, I usually start with a word. That is also something I shared on Patreon, how I do the Zentangle, and for the Eye Your Tears. And yeah, so I documented here. So this is something, when I see a quote, I will refer to it in this little book. This little leather cover is from Miniso, which is a Japanese store that we used to have, but now it's closed. I can only order online, and I have never seen another one of these. This is actual leather. And some time ago, I did a giveaway on YouTube, and I had given away one of these little covers. I really love it. So this is how I document that. This one here is where I have my little book of practice. So I've got different images of faces, and I've been practicing doing them. And now I'm almost finished with the images that I had printed, like I had done. I'm almost finished with them. I still have, I thought I still had a few. Maybe not. Am I finished with all of them? I think so. So I only have, so if that's the case, then I only have the, and I could see like the big change in my drawing skills. They've really changed through the time, because I started this book back in 2016, so it's been quite a while. So I do have some, when I did a class on Skillshare, I had taken down notes, and these are my little cacti. And so I still have, I did some animals, and I still have a few pages left. I tried my mushrooms, my first mushroom, my gnome, some fern. I drew my first inspiration for, so I have only these pages left, and then I'll start a new book. But I like to have one where I can draw and I can refer to. So once this one is finished, I'll go into another one. I've already got another book lined up. So yeah, and this one here is from Leather Quill. I have quite a few of their covers. I really like them. Small place, and they've got beautiful leather. The only bad thing is I always get slammed with a lot of duty when they ship, because they ship via FedEx. Via FedEx or UPS, one of the two, and I always have a ton of duty to pay. So I'm not so inclined on purchasing from them because of that. This one was the latest, the last one I got back in December. I really love this guy. This you've seen me use. This is my fountain pen. I purchased this here as well at the same time, and it will house some of my fountain pens sometimes. And I've got a Rhodia notebook, and this is where I've documented my ink purchases and my pen purchases, as well as documented my let me find, because it's closed off with these. I love these things. I've got them all over now. It's perfect to keep my pages. So I've started documenting the inks and the pens that I use. So this was February, then I've got March somewhere, and I've got April, but I didn't finish documenting that. Those were the ones that I had already inked up, which all of these actually, no, except for these two, because these I basically haven't been using because of the 30 inks. But all the other ones, except for this one, which is the Moon Man, which you can see it's already halfway full, halfway empty, which is pretty cool. So I use this one a lot in making my art. It has platinum carbon black, which water, it doesn't react to water, which is great. And I've put it in this pen, and I've specified one pen for it because of the fact that archival ink that can it can damage your pen. So I don't want it like this pen. It hasn't cost that much, and if I dedicate it to it, obviously I use it often. I'll clean it out properly when I do, but at least I don't have that type of ink in all my pens. So this is where I do that. Now obviously, because I did the 30 inks, I haven't done the May lineup because I still have inks from my 30 inks to use up. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to use up those pens as much as possible, and I'm doing quite well actually. So writing a lot. This one here, this little notebook is where I document all my inks by company. And so this here is the bottles, and these here are the samples. And the like, I got some ink chargers from Ferris Wheel, and those are like small bottles, 5 milliliters, so that's why it's part of this. Had the samples from Sarah, and some empty bottles, and the ink flights. So I like documenting my inks. It gives me a way of seeing which ink quickly, because my big book of ink swatches is downstairs. This lives upstairs with me. So I've got this little guy. Then this one is not one that I use often. This is something new that I just started. You see my husband's picture. I'm recycling an old monthly planner, and basically I documented my last class that I did, the index class. I documented the stuff that I wanted to do in it and what I included in the package, and and how much it costs to ship and everything. And I will continue this if I continue making other classes. So that's what this little book is going to be. So I've already prepped all the pages. I've used a lot of my washi tape and some extra paper, and just covered up, because I don't like to waste notebooks. And this is a planner that I didn't really use from 2018, so I wanted to use it up. So that's how I'm recycling what I've already got, and it's gonna give me the opportunity to keep all my notes for class making in one place. This is a Prima cover, and it's a traveler's notebook type of cover, but it's a Prima one, and you can see the size with the traveler's notebook. Like, it makes a big difference. It's a weird size. It's smaller than it's smaller than the B6. It doesn't fit the because this here is an A5, and it doesn't fit the A5. So it's kind of a weird little book. I wish I had, when I purchased it online. I don't think I checked properly the sizes, and there's really not that many books that fit in it, so I was a bit disappointed with that. But that's a good way of using it, so at least I'm using it. And like I said, this is not something that I use every single day. This is more of something that I'm gonna keep to reference, because I like pretty covers for the stuff. I like to reference, and I use paper, unlike some other people that will use a computer to document everything. I use computer for work all the time. So on my personal life, I like using paper and pen. It just brings me a lot of joy, and I try to use my fountain pens as much as possible in these books. So that's what I use. So this one here is not something that I use all the time either. This is where I keep my Zen doodles, the ones I make for myself. because I make a lot of the little ones on cards so I can send them out. But when I want to do a big one, just for me, I will use this. And this is the one I would bring to work so that I could, because this one used to live at work. But obviously work is from home now. So, so yeah, it was one that would travel back and forth, and I would just be able to start projects in it, and I really love it. And this is a Moleskine with a Hello Kitty. This cover is from Chic Sparrow, and I really like this gray green type of cover. It's very pretty, and it's also, as you can see with the traveling around, it also got a lot of dings and character. Then this one is another Chic Sparrow. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a pen clip, so my friend Annie had made this, which now it lives on, because I like to have the pen that I use, like for example, for Zen doodling, one of my preferred tool is a micron. So I have a micron that lives with it. So I always, like, if I want to do something, I can just grab the book and go. This is the type of book that I will bring. Let's say I go to the hairdresser to have my hair done, and it's gonna take a while for the dye and stuff. So I will bring a book like this, and then I'll just doodle. So this one here is where I practice my alphabet. So different type of fonts and stuff. And so this book I refer to when I want to write something and I want to try a different alphabet. I will refer to it. This is also where I've practiced some of the writing that you see in the other book. So that's what this one is for. But I wish it had a little pen, so that the pen would be inside instead of on top. But yeah, that's what it is. Oh boy! So we've done quite a lot. Now we've got these ones left, and then that's it, pretty much. Like I said, I've got other ones lying around, but they're not really being used much, so I didn't feel the need to pull those out. So this one here is the one I've been documenting my stationery purchases. This cover here I got used from Leanne. I love the aging of it. It's also a weird size because it's the traveler size, but it's smaller than a typical A5. Because this is a typical A5, and you can see it's much smaller than the typical A5. So not everything will fit in this thing. So I was really pleased to find that my Moleskine actually did. And so this is where I've been documenting. I documented the stationery cafe prompts that I did. Then I did some watercolor swatching, some orders that I've documented, and I've been pretty good about not buying too much stationery anymore. It's been replaced by inks and pens, and a lot of people ask, how many pens do I have? I have a lot. That's my answer. It's a collection, and it's the number doesn't mean anything. It's more of a question of like I said, collecting and having fun. So that's why I don't give numbers out. so if you've gotten the answer many, well, it's because it's a lot. But a collection that's what it is. It is, you know, collecting a lot of items of the same type. So that's what I do with the fountain pens. This little guy I refer to every single day almost. This lives in my kitchen. It's almost full. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do when it's completely full, because I don't know if I can actually fit another insert and have it closed properly. I don't think so. So I might keep this one and then start another one. I love how it aged. I love the staining on it. Like I said, it's something I use every single day, and it has my favorite recipes, the ones that I do all the time. Now, it was getting very annoying to flip through every single thing to find the recipe I wanted. So I've labeled the books, and I've numbered the pages, and then I've made these little index cards to tell myself which page it's on. This way I can find my stuff more easily, as well as my family can find it more easily as well. So these are all kinds of things. There's the canning, some of the cannings that I do all the time. They're the time that you need to do it. All kinds of different recipes, like I do my own Caesar salad dressing, so it lives in here. I've done my own croutons for my salad dressing, for my Caesar salad, so that's also in here somewhere. So that's why I've got the croutons is here. This book is stained. It's being used, and I really love it. I love writing into these. I just think it gives character, and one day some of my kids might be interested in having them. So I've kept only the recipes that we really like and we do often, so they live in this book. And you've seen before another book that I had made where I kept other recipes, so I always add new recipes to the list. And so yeah, so this one is almost like I said, it's almost finished. I've got, I'm at page 105 and I've got 115, so it's almost over. I need to figure out what I'm going to do. I have another one that I'm not using as much, so I might use that. I don't know. I will have to see how that goes. I'm not sure. It's still up in the air in what's going on with this little thing. Usually it sits on the outside. So yeah, so that's what's in here. This here is my garden one. So it keeps my garden notes, and it keeps, like, I have documented the little fruit trees that I've planted, and I've got the information on them over here. And so I will continue using that, but this is not something I refer to often. This is something that I refer to when the garden season is going on. Then this book is also from Chic Sparrow. It was one of those books. I forgot to say, this one is a traveler's notebook. It's the olive color edition. Then this one here is a Chic Sparrow. It was one of those seconds, so there was something written behind, and they put happiness to cover it. I love it. I'm using it to do my oracle reading, so whenever I do it, I document it. And I'm almost finished that book as well, so once that is finished, I'll put a new insert, and I will continue. So that's where that is used, and this one is used, I would say, a few times a week at least. So there's that. This one here is where I'm documenting my reading. So right now I'm reading the book, the Creativity Cure. I've mentioned that before. So I'm highlighting certain sections of the book, and then I'm writing them here so that I can have an easy reference. So, because those books, I find it's not like a class. So I will document the different sections, but I don't necessarily, it's not like this one where I document the class itself. So that's why it's in here. And this here is from Soliloquy leather. It's leather. It's Etsy store. That it's somebody from Canada, and it's a beautiful leather. I don't like it as much because there's no pockets, and unlike these little guys, I don't mind that there's no pockets because I don't necessarily use pockets. And if I do, I will add something like this, because I do have some inserts that I can put. But this one here, I could do that, but I usually don't. And I would have liked, you know, I got one of them. I would not purchase another one like this, probably, just because of, I like having a pen. If I want to have some other little papers or sticky notes or whatever, yeah. So just that. And this is my Filofax. You saw me, all this, this was purchased at Value Village, and what I've done in here, and I'm not gonna like share all of it because I don't want to share that information, but basically all my pen pal information, I have a sheet per pen pal, and I'll document when their birthday is, what their name is, what their spouse name is, if they have dogs, if they have cats, all about them, so that this way I can refer back to this to know more about them. If I'm reading a letter and I'm not sure who they're referring to, I can go back to this and read about them. And as I get new letters, I add to their page. Yeah, I just love the idea of using as many notebooks as possible. What can I say? I have to have use for them. So I figured this is probably going to be a super long video. I hope you stayed till the end. If you did, wow, guys, congrats. I don't know, maybe you're gonna think it's nuts to have so many, but like I said, everything is a bucket. And just like my desk, in order for me to stay organized and stay on point and to keep my desk clean, I needed that system. In order to keep my mind organized, I need the books, so that if I'm doing a certain task, I can refer to a certain book, and if I'm doing something else, I can refer to that other book. And once those books are finished, I have this big chest in the living room, and I store all my notebooks in it afterwards. So yeah, oh my god, it's been a long video, but I thought it might be of interest to some folks, because maybe you haven't thought of documenting certain things, or you put everything together and then it becomes a big mismatch, and then you're not happy with your system. Like I said, I always love reading about different people's system, and I'm hoping that mine might help you. So that's it. Stay safe and love you guys. Bye.